Now we're gonna brainstorm some options from side control. There will be a lot of different variations because there's just a lot of different grips you can use to control your opponent from side control. Let's start with the basic one where you have a normal side control position. You're on your knees. That's how I use, that's the posture I use to control him in the side control. I have my right knee under his arm and my left knee touching his hip. Okay, I make my base wide and low, and I stay on my toes. That way I'm not giving him space, and I have good balance and good mobility. By being on my toes, I can move around, I can stand up if I have to, I can pop up to knee on belly. By having my knees touching his body, I'm controlling his hips and I'm controlling his upper body. My hands are gonna be controlling him as well. The traditional grip will be hugging the head. You can control the collar or you can grab the shoulder. I like the shoulder grip a lot because you're going deep, like deeper than just controlling the collar here. There's a little bit of space, a gap right here when you hold the collar. But if you go all the way to the shoulder, you're able to pull that grip and bring everything tighter. There's no gap right now, so it's easier for you to apply shoulder pressure. On this side, the elbow is controlling the hip. Remember I was mentioning how the left knee is blocking his hip on this side. On the other side, the elbow is doing the same thing, controlling the hip. So essentially, I'm just trapping him right here, using the knee and the elbow. So I have full upper body control, head control, and I'm controlling the hips. I have my chest on his chest. Very important detail for side control, just for maintaining the position. You don't want to keep your head here. He's gonna just frame, start bothering me here, like using his frame on my neck, and he's gonna push me away. That's one of the main ways people are gonna escape side control. Is creating a frame, then finding space and sliding away from the position. Perfect. He's gonna do that. Okay, so whenever you have the side control, you're controlling your opponent with your grips, with your whole body, but at the same time, you have to be paying attention on hiding your face, hiding your head, okay? Avoiding that frame. So if I place my head here, for example, it will be much harder for him to come with the hand on my neck. If I place my head here, it will be harder for him. You see how I trap his arm? I'm still blocking the hip, but now he's not framing. I don't allow him to come with the arm right here, forearm on my neck. Another way is to place the head under the armpit. That's another great way. He's not able to create that frame. So this is something to keep in mind. You gotta be aware of that every single time he builds the frame, he's essentially escaping side control. Okay, so let's try to avoid that as much as possible. So if I begin with this grip, the very first arm bar I'll try to do is using the underhook. If I underhook his arm, always putting weight on my elbow so I stay heavy, like right here, and always leaning towards his hips. Why? Because then I can start to stretch his arm. If I stay here, then he's hugging me. It will be hard. I don't like when the guy on bottom is able to hug me side control. It's easy to escape, but it's just uncomfortable. Sometimes people hug really hard and they have to waste energy trying to escape that. So I try to make sure I'm always moving his hand away from his body. Like I'm trying to get the arm part. I need to do that. I need to make sure his hands are never come towards his chest where he can grip, he can connect, he can hug. I'm always trying to move the hand away. It's a very weak position for him. So when I have the underhook, I do that. So see how I scoop his arm using my forearm, like the blade of my arm, and then I lean on his arm. Okay, I'm already extending his arm. Once that's done, I don't need the head control anymore. If I continue to hug his head and I'm trying to turn him sideways, he's rolling over my arm. I'm gonna get stuck here. So I actually pulse my hand. Most likely he's gonna be trying to bridge up and escape. He will recognize that I'm trying to attack his arm. I'm already catching his arm, right? You can hold your collar too. That's another way you can do it. Like if you feel safer, if you feel you can make the position a little bit tighter by squeezing with the collar grip, that's great. I use sometimes. But this is very important. It gives me balance. So by pulsing the hand up here, if he's bridging up, I can walk my hand and you know, just make sure if I'm losing my balance, I fix my posture, I reestablish my base. And this hand is very active. It's not like I'm not posting and then he bridges up and then I just roll over. No, the hand moves. Like if he's bridging up, see how the hands move. So that's the #1 reason why I'm able to stay on top. When people are going wild, like they're bridging up, they're pushing, it's because I have active posting. I'm always posting my hand, my legs. I'm never stuck on the mat. Like I never post and then when I'm, you know, moving, I stay there. Because then if I'm passing over that hand that's giving me balance, I'm gonna roll. So I'm always readjusting the base by moving the hand or the leg. So always active posting, very important. And then by using this hand, I'm not gonna only have a better balance, but I can use my hand to push off and start turning him into me. There's no way, there is a way to do the arm bar from here, but it's harder. Like if he's flat, I could slide the knee over and then start catching the arm bar here. I do sometimes, control the elbow and get this straight arm bar, forehead on the ground, and then you finish. But it's harder. It's a harder arm bar to get. Like, you know, you really need to find the angle, find where find the elbow so you can put pressure. I would say it's much easier to pulse the hand and start turning your opponent sideways. Once he's sideways, then I would tuck the elbow in like this and pulse the leg. Okay? So at this point, like he's not going anywhere, like it's hard for him to bridge. Like when he's flat, he's able to bridge up. Like there's a higher chance that he's gonna make me off balance, that he's gonna find a space. If I bring him sideways, and I bring my elbow in, if the elbow is out, he's gonna move. But if I bring the elbow in, I drop on his ribs, and then I pulse the leg. Let's turn this way so you guys can see how I have my left knee on the mat, and I'm pulsing my right leg. Like I'm driving my weight to his hips, to his ribs, like keeping everything tight right here. There's no way for him to move. If I drop this knee here, then I lost it. Like I lost control. You see how he's bridging up? And I might lose the arm bar. He's gonna bring his legs in. So I wanna be in this position, like super low, like keeping everything nice and tight. Like at this point, you know, maybe he's moving, I'm like hugging him, just controlling. And then slowly, I wanna start moving around the head. I wanna push the head down. I wanna do leg work over his arm. If the guy's doing a good job, he's gonna be blocking. He can be blocking the hip, blocking the knee. So I would use the hand to push the head down and then leg work. See how I bring the knee in and windshield wiper over. We can pass to the other leg. Now the arm is not a problem anymore. I can continue to walk towards the head and then step over. Okay, let's turn more this way now. So then once I step over, I'm back to that position where he's sideways. I'm on top of him. There's not much he can do. I could finish from here. If I go to the collar, bringing the elbow up, he's never able to reach a grip. If I stay too low, he's gonna grab his belt or his leg. If he does that, there's no need to waste time here trying to break the grip. You can continue to go towards the armbar, get to the armbar position, and later on you can break the grip. You could try to break the grip from here, but sometimes it's pretty hard if the guy's like trying to muscle really hard. So to avoid this whole thing, the best case scenario is to posture up fast and grab your collar. So the hand is just right there, you see, hanging. Like he's never able to get that grip. And then here you can adjust, make sure everything is tight. And then I'll move my foot from being here, like next to his head, to being closer to his belt. Okay, now I pulse my hand and I drop the leg over to the other side. Like I chop down, like squeezing everything, his whole body. Okay, now before you fall, like you don't want to fall right here. The angle is bad, he's already escaping, you see. I could go into the belly down armbar, but you know, if he's fast coming around and I'm not fast enough moving towards the armbar, the belly down armbar, there's a chance he might escape. So best case scenario, safer option will be when I'm right here in this position, like elbow up, like bringing his hand up. My elbow is also going up so I can bring the hand up. I'm holding the collar. I'm using my right hand to adjust everything. I bring this leg here so I can post my hand. If the leg's here, then it's harder to post. So I step closer, I post. See how I slowly like sink back, posting on my hand, and now I chop my leg over. See how the heel is going fast. Like this is a very explosive part of the technique. Like the heel goes up and down to the other side, like really chopping down on his shoulder. And then I walk my hand, adjusting my angle, and I catch his hip. Sometimes I catch the leg. I start pointing towards me. I bring him to this side. I'm gonna end up here. Okay. Then of course I go C grip, create that angle that I need for the finish. At this point I don't need the leg anymore. I can push the leg away. Twist. Hand comes over, comes around and then over, and then finish in the pocket. Again, side control, get the underhook, pulse the hand, can grab the collar, or can just cup the arm. Start using the hand to help me move the hand sideways, tuck the elbow, good leg work, using the knee. Let's do that one more time. Super important, like as you're doing the arm bar, you gotta have good leg work so you don't get stuck halfway through the position. You can be pulsing the hand or pushing the head down so you have more space, you have a clear vision of what's happening. You can come in and then over. You can go through the outside, coming over and then in, and then you switch. Okay, as long as you bring the arm to the other side, you have a clear path. Okay, so then again, I continue to walk this way. I could step all the way here and then just continue my rotation. I will end up here. Very traditional arm bar, but very effective. Great arm bar. I use it all the time. Finish right here. Catch the wrist. Finish in the pocket. Okay. Then the other option I'm showing is spending a little bit more time in this position here. Keeping the hand up, adjusting, and posting the hand, and you chop the leg. Very strong, like you lock the shoulder really well. And then this very nice detail about this technique is walking the hand this way. So I'm closer to the hip and I'm able to catch the leg. Sometimes you miss the grip if you go to the outside. So usually I go to the inside. So I block the leg. If I try to catch right here, maybe he's moving that way, he's gone, right? But if I come to the inside with the grip, might be easier to stop his movement. Catch the inside, see, then start pulling the grip, catch the wrist, and finish. Still using the underhook. If I do the same thing, have the underhook, I'm pulsing my hand, I start bringing him sideways, looking the elbow in. But let's say I don't want to go around his head. Can I finish the armbar from here? Yes, I can. I can just cup the arm like this, or I can connect my hands. This is actually a really good grip, kind of like a no-gi grip. You put your hands together, and you're using both of your arms, like your forearms, to drive pressure down on the shoulder. So I'm like twisting his shoulder right here, putting a lot of pressure. And then my knee slides over his arm. I love to use this kind of leg work where as I'm attacking his arm, my knee is controlling the other hand that would otherwise be trying to save the arm that's being attacked. Right? So let's turn this way. So if he's sideways right here, and I'm catching his shoulder like this, like no-gi grip style, I pulse the leg, and then leg work. I block right there, sweep the leg underneath my body, and then bring this knee to his stomach, like right there, like almost like a knee on belly position. like here, it will be easy to finish. I can start bringing his arm up to my shoulder, bring my elbow up. I can finish here if I have the elbow, if I know exactly how to align the elbow with my forearm. Should be easy. I mean, you can just, you know, start sliding up and you're gonna feel like, I can see right here, or I can feel like right here, it's his shoulder, his tricep, and then right here, the elbow. I'll put pressure here and finish. Worst case scenario, let's say you're kind of lost, you're not finding the elbow, maybe he's moving a little bit, trying to escape. Just use your hand, just go here and grab, like, use your fingers. You're gonna be able to feel like the bone, okay? And you just slide up to the wrist so you have more leverage. Remember, if you stay low, less leverage. I wanna go to the very end. So I wanna go all the way up to his hand. Pressure down, I'm gonna finish, okay? Can just finish from here. You could swing the leg over. If I lean, if I open my knee for balance and I lean this way, I can swing this leg over. Have extra pressure, extra control. It's not going anywhere. Okay, you can finish here. You can turn this way for a ass mount armbar. End up here and finish. The endless options, right? Once you have control over the shoulder, you're doing a good leg work. There's just so many different variations. Let's explore some different options using different grips. So we did using the underhook. Now let's say I want to place my head under his armpit. So if I want to go here, okay, I really like this position. I feel it's very easy to apply pressure. I'm not squeezing him when I'm trying to apply pressure. I'm not like using my arms. He's just placing the head and then I tripod on him. Very uncomfortable for him. Usually when I do that, because the tripod position, you're putting pressure, and it's not like when you use your arms where you squeeze and then you kind of like get tired, you need to take a break, you let go, and then you squeeze again and you let go. When you use the tripod position to apply pressure, it's gonna be non-stop pressure on his neck. So he's not gonna be able to resist for too long. So usually people are gonna bridge up, they're gonna turn towards you, and that's when we get the armbar. So like, if I come here and I use that way of stabilizing the side control, putting pressure, and he starts to bridge up, I would cup his hip, like just grab right here, grab his shoulder, open hand, and I'm gonna lean towards his shoulder, like this way, like diagonal, that way, okay? I'm not just hugging and moving back, I'm also like coming this way. Why? Because my shoulder, my head, everything here is like pushing his elbow up this way, which means I'm exposing his arm, okay? So I do that, so let's this way, yeah. So I do that, and then the next step would be to step over. So if I post the hand here and I step over, look where I end up. In the ass mount, okay? Deep armbar position, I'll just start controlling, and grab the collar, see how my hand comes in between his arms, like under, like right here, control. He's most likely already like defending. See, I can grab the pants, step on his arm and break, swing the leg over, get the arm bar. You can stay on top and use a Kimura grip. You can go Kimura grip, do the same thing, like spend some time here, adjusting, making sure I squeeze him, I keep him sideways. Let's say he's doing a good job going on his back. I would have to like pull him towards me, scoop him up, always pulling his elbow up towards my chest with this motion, like pulling him up and turning him. So I can readjust the ass mount and then step over and finish. I could finish here. I don't even need to fall back. You could lean forward and finish. Okay. Let's go one more time. So side control, push. Like the ideal position would be I never face the frame. I just push his elbow up and place my head right there. But another good option is like, let's say, you know, I made a little mistake here, got to side control, he got the frame. I did not pay attention, he got the frame. when I feel like he's pushing, he's trying to get some space, how do I use that motion to push his arm? So you see how I go up with him, so he extends his arm, and then I tap on his elbow. I get into this position. Once I get here, then open hands on the mat for balance. Remember, active posting. I tripod. I drive my shoulder to his neck because I want him to start turning. Then I'm leaning that way, like applying pressure to his shoulder, exposing his arm. I can step over just like I did, getting the S mount, or I could continue to go to the arm bar, like belly down arm bar. So let's say I want to go belly down arm bar. I'll do the same thing. Use my shoulder to expose his arm. I'll pulse right here, step over, but then continue to go this way. If I catch his arm, I can swing this leg over and go belly down. I'll finish right here, or use my legs, forcing to roll, and then I finish. That's another option. If you like the belly down arm bar, you just never stop. You just go from having your head under the armpit all the way into the belly down. So right here, like, pulse the hand, swing the leg over. So like, you're gonna end up here. You don't go to the S mount. You can catch the wrist right here, or this hand could catch the wrist. It might be easier with this hand, so this one gives you more balance. Into the belly down. One more time. Pressure. Like the more I turn him sideways, the easier it will be, because now he's concerned about his back. I could take his back, and I can take his arm. I'll pulse my hand, step over, over here, and catch with this hand. Like, remember that C grip, always driving his hand away from his body. And then look how my left knee, like the left hand comes around, like pulsing. So I have balance all the way through the position. And then slide the knee over. This way. Have the belly down right here, do the finish. Twist, finish in the pocket. Making him roll. And finish. We're gonna use the overhook from side control. So we did underhook, getting different arm bars. Now we're gonna go with the overhook. So I'm gonna release the head grip, and I'm gonna come over his arm, over the shoulder, over his bicep. And then my goal is to really slide my hand and my forearm under his arm. Then I can push with my shoulder like this, like adjusting everything. So you see how it's a combination of like using my neck, my head, and my forearm to really trap his arm. So this is the initial position. I have side control, normal underhook, controlling the head. Okay. Now I replace. You can have the underhook here because this is giving you good control, like you're controlling the arm. But then you're gonna switch. You're gonna go like this. See how I keep my hand up here to give him less space. If the hand's touching the mat, maybe there's more space for him. So these are nice details, like just keep everything tight until you can come, bring the hand around and switch. See how I replace? I'm gonna replace everything, boom, come under his arm. Now, you can start grabbing the belt, or you can just place your hand on your opponent's ribs. Like, as you do that, you're gonna start turning, like turning your opponent sideways. Like I bring his sideways, and I bring my knee over his arm. On this side, I do that leg work again. So as my hand's coming to the inside, my knee's coming over his arm. Like my goal is to clear the way so I can, a windshield wiper over his arm. I clear the way to the other side. Then I just continue to walk. And up here, I'm gonna eventually end up on this side with this position. Really nice because I have my arm under his arm. Everything is set for the Kimura grip. You can have the Kimura grip and finish the arm bar however I prefer. I can, again, swing this leg over, extend, lean on his head. I'm sitting here and then swing the leg over and finish. See grip, hand in the pocket, and finish. I can go from here to the S mount if I prefer. I can just come to the outside, readjust everything, make sure he's not going anywhere. If he's for some reason almost on his back, I'll again turning him sideways, make sure the elbow is pointing up. You see how my left knee is like pushing his head, and then I can step over, bring my heel under his armpit or on top of his arm, lean on hand, swing the leg over, close the space. You can finish here. You can post your hand and lean forward to finish, or you can, you know, fall back again and finish. So it's a nice variation. I feel like most people end up using the traditional underhook. It's more common. But you can't forget about the overhook. It's also a great position. You just switch. So trap everything here using your head and your forearm, and then you switch. Bring the hand around, replace. Okay, now let's turn so you guys can see the leg there. See how this hand's like right here, like cupping his body. Sometimes I grab the belt and it gives me good control as I move around. Oh, end up here. Kimura grip. You don't need the Kimura every time. You can hug the arm, grab your collar, try to keep that hand up so he doesn't make a grip, which you would have to break later on. So posture up. Again, can step under the arm, under the armpit, and scoop the arm. Very uncomfortable for him. Adjust everything. Can post the hand. If I post my hand here, then I can swing my leg over. Okay, extend and then pass to the other side. Have the arm bar again. Move closer to his hip. Catch the leg. Finish. Another really good grip that I love to use from side control, not only for the arm bar, but even like just controlling the position, like just keeping side control, transitioning to the back or to different variations or different positions, is coming with this arm, like releasing the head grip and bringing my hand under his armpit and then using my elbow. Like, I really like this position. It's super strong. I normally shift my hips so I can see his legs. And the cool thing about this is that he can see anything that's happening. Like when you have normal side control, you're trying your best to, you know, not let a guy see what's happening. More or less, he'll be able to see something. But once you come around, like with this hand, you know, it can be like, you can block the arm first. I always do that, like, you know, use the leg work, like the knee comes over his arm, so he's not using the arm trying to get space. And then I just come under his arm. You can swim under with the hand and then use the elbow. Sometimes I just drop the elbow right there and then my head comes in. And then after I do that, after I open my elbow, pushing his elbow out of the way. This is what you need. You don't want to come under the armpit and let a guy bring his elbow down. Now he's framing. He's going to start getting space. So as I enter this position, as I come under his armpit, I really need to drive my elbow up. He needs to be in this position. This is so uncomfortable for him. He needs to be here. It's hurting his shoulder. He's getting more tired and he's very weak. Okay. And then once you get here, now you can shift your hips. Why you do that? Because you're going to be putting a lot of weight on your opponent. He's going to get tired really fast. I can take a break here. I can rest. I can catch my breath. You know, just recharge before I try an attack, before I try getting the armbar. Usually, if I'm spending some time here controlling the situation, I will hug him. Like I can make a grip, can hold his gi, just grab the material like right here. You can use the left hand, you stretch the gi, and then you grab. You can grab the belt, you could grab the pins. Just be careful, you don't want to go too far that way where you're losing the elbow, you see? So as long as you're keeping the elbow up, maybe you bring the grip here, then you're fine. Otherwise, just grab right here. Okay, the most important is keeping the elbow in this position. This is a very important part of the technique. And the hand, my left hand, the free hand, is blocking his leg. He will be, since he can't see anything, he can't use his arms. On the other side, like if we turn this way, you can see how I have my hips pushing his elbow up. So let's turn back here. The same thing I'm doing here with my elbow, I'm doing on that side with my hips. Okay, so he can't use his arms. So I'm gonna be using my left hand to make sure he's not throwing his legs over my head, trying to trap me, squeeze my head, or use the knee, create some space. So I just need to keep that knee away. It's super easy. Just block the knee. You can make a grip if you feel more comfortable. And I just stretch him out. Now for the armbar, once I have established control right here, this grip, like the first option, the first armbar we're gonna do, this grip's gonna come around his neck. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna start moving him sideways. Okay, and then my hand's gonna come around his neck, and I'm gonna hug him. See, right there. Just place the hand on the shoulder. You can make a grip. Start this way. And then again, I need to use my hips to open up his elbow. See how I'm pushing the elbow up. See? So when I step over, coming around, I end up here. I have the S mount. I have my elbow trapping his arm. See, if I hug my own leg like this, his hand is not going anywhere. Like he's stuck there. Okay? You can control his hand, push to his chest. You could swing the leg over, keep the leg under, lean forward, swing the leg over. You can finish here. You can fall back, cross my legs, and then finish with the arm under the armpit. I can go C grip, and then finish in the pocket. Really important to bring him sideways. This is how I control him. He's kind of flat. It's going to be hard to do the armbar if he's flat. I need to bring him sideways. So then I can expose his elbow, like I lean on his shoulder. And then this is very uncomfortable. When I hug his head, like it's almost like choking him. Like it's so uncomfortable right here. And then I can just slowly, you don't need to do this fast. I mean, you can if you feel really comfortable and you get used to the position. But it could be slow, like you can just post your hand, step over. And don't drop your knee because then he's gonna go on his back. So when you step, you just continue your rotation. Drop the knee underneath your opponent's head like a pillow, so he never comes back to that position where he has his back flat on the mat. Then use the elbow to trap the arm. Make sure he's not connecting his hands. You can finish from here. Just here. I just hip up, posturing up. He's gonna tap. So that's one, like using this underhook. Here's another one I like, and it's easy to do, very effective. Same position, I'm controlling him. Now instead of hugging the head, going all the way around and hugging and grabbing right here, I'm gonna just move my hand from this grip here to the back of his neck, right there, 4 fingers inside, okay? Now my goal is to squeeze his shoulder. You see how my elbow is pressing against his arm right there. So I'm using my body, like this part of my body, and my elbow to squeeze his arm. Then I'm gonna tripod and just walk all the way around. This hand's gonna be always controlling the hip or the leg. Usually I'm grabbing the knee and pushing the leg down. So when I tripod, see how the head goes in? That's another detail. I don't want to forget to show you. The head's not on the outside, because if I tripod here, then he can go on his back. I can hit my forehead on the mat, can even hurt my neck. So I need to, it will be easier for me to move around if the head comes in, and it's safer. Okay, so make sure you bring the head in, and then you go hips up and move around. Once I got to this position here, I can just step over. I can finish here, just stretching his arm. I can post my left hand on that side and use my heel to close that space. Now I slide myself closer to him, swing the leg over. He's gonna tap. His arm's trapped under my arm. Once I'm here, I could just step here, start getting a normal Kimura grip. You can go Kimura grip and finish. The armbar could be hugging his arm and doing the same thing, like dropping the knee, swinging the leg over. This leg could come here, can lean back, swing the leg over. All the options we have seen before. Let me show you again just how to walk to that side, because it's so easy. It's a position you can start using right away. Once you get that grip, you just go. There's not much that you have to do. You just bring the head in, hips up, walk all the way around, super fast. So bring it sideways, I find the grip, I lock everything, I bring the head in, come around, I end up here. This hand could come to his neck, like right there, and then swing the leg over. Post. Oh, making tap. Okay, I'll do the switch one more time. Bring it like this angle. Now we're gonna see what we can do when our opponent's getting the underhook. So sometimes I have side control, he finds a little space and he's getting the underhook. Of course, if he's getting the underhook, he's trying to escape, he's getting some space. So I can't be too slow to respond to what's happening here. I need to be ready to connect to something, otherwise he's gonna escape. Like if I let him turn all the way, he might go to single leg, maybe he's gonna go to my back. I don't wanna end up there. But the good thing is, if I'm prepared, if I have options for when he's turning, it can be a really good thing. Because remember how normally you have to bring the person sideways? Now he's turning sideways. But the difference is that he has the underhook, where before I had the underhook. Okay? So the first thing we need to know is how to be safe. If he's turning with the underhook, the first thing that I need to do is to place my hand right here on his ribs and use my elbow to stop him from turning. So see how I slide my hand here and then I drop my elbow, and usually I shift my base. Okay, I post my leg and I put all the weight there. Just like I did when I had the underhook. Remember? Okay, but now he has the underhook. But the way I stop him from moving is the same. Slide the hand and stop him from moving. Once that's done, that's the first step. I just make sure I'm safe. That he's not going to single leg, not going to my back. Now, I'm gonna post my hand and I'm gonna start turning my base to that side. So I'm gonna shift my hips. As I do that, I'm gonna slide my hand away from his shoulder and towards his tricep. Okay, I wanna grab his arm. I'm like pulling him towards me. It kind of like feels for him that I want him to come on top. And it's true, I want him to start moving because I'm gonna step over. Once I step over, he's gonna be stuck here. I even slide my knee over his arm. Let's turn this way. So I was posting my hand here. I lean back, preparing a trap for him. I want him to start to come up. And when he's doing that, his knees are turning down because you see he needs to come up, which means it's easy for me to step over. See how I bring my hips up and I step over. Once the leg's here, applying pressure on his shoulder, I can slide this knee over his arm. So he's stuck there. Now from here, I can stay on top and do straight armbar. I can control his hand, get the straight armbar, swing this leg over if I have to. I can finish from here. And another option is to keep this grip here, and then I just keep leaning back towards the guard, and I end up here and finish from the guard. So again, look, he's getting the underhook. He's trying to escape. I stop him. Let's just stop him first. Make sure we're safe. Of course, as you drill this technique and you become more familiar with the technique, you have a better timing. You could kind of like not stop here. As he's turning, I could just pulse the hand and catch his arm and step over. And then have armbar. But at first, I would recommend that you guys stop your opponent from turning. Stop the movement. You're safe. You're not gonna give up the control that you have. And then this is a more controlled position. Then you start switching to your attack. And then slowly, you can get rid of that first step, okay? So again, he's getting the underhook. So that's one option, to control the tricep and use my back, like my body, like right here, to push his hand up. See how my left hand is controlling the tricep, but my body's pushing the hand away. My back's here, right? It's pushing his hand away from his body. So like this. Getting the space to step over. So I can stay on top and finish. Can land in the guard position and finish. Exactly the same situation. He's getting the underhook. I can block to slow him down. And now I can bring my other hand over. So if I bring my elbow in, I'm blocking his movement. Again, he's stuck. And I'm applying a lot of pressure on his shoulder. Not only with the elbow, but also with my left knee coming up, like right here. Let's turn this way. So in this position, if the elbow is in like this, there is a chance that I can finish the armbar here. You see how my left leg will shelf his arm? So like his hand is stuck here. And I have my right elbow coming over his shoulder and in, like locking his shoulder and his elbow. To finish from here, I would have to go C-grip. See how I slide my forearm over my knee that's pulsing, like right here? And I block his wrist from moving, so there's no movement. He can't go down. He can't go this way, like this hand's gonna be here. And then this hand's blocking the other side, so he's really stuck. And then I go C-grip, control his arm, and put pressure on the shoulder. You can finish here, like if I land on his shoulder, putting a lot of pressure down, and then bring the hand up, he's gonna tap. Well, let's say this guy is flexible, he's not tapping. I'm putting pressure here, he's not tapping. I could walk around using the same grip. I could switch to a Kimura grip, but I don't have to. I could keep the same grip and just move my legs around. See how I shuffle to the other side, and that would end up right here in the armbar position. Then again, I can just jump over, take his arm, or I could switch to a Kimura grip. Every time you switch to Kimura grip, it's gonna be slower. You're gonna spend more time here adjusting, sitting on the head, swinging the leg over and finishing. Okay, so you can do the faster way, which is like jumping, or you can switch to Kimura grip, which is gonna be slower. So he's turning, I block, bring the elbow in, start controlling the hand. Okay, always bringing the hand up, exposing his arm. If I bring my head down and I walk around, it'll be easier. I can step right here, swing the leg, and fall into the armbar. Finish. So he's turning towards me using the underhook. I bring the elbow in. Now there's a way to use the Kimura grip and do the fast armbar. Okay, you just need to get the Kimura before you start moving. So I lock that Kimura grip and then I start walking around. I place his hand on his stomach so then I have more balance to move around. I'm gonna start moving around his head. Once I come around, I'm gonna swing the leg over into the armbar. So you see how I don't need to step and stay on top of him, getting the Kimura grip and spending some time to adjust everything. You can do like this as well. So look again, he's turning. You bring the elbow in, and instead of using this grip here, moving around and then using Kimura, if you like the Kimura grip, you could just get a Kimura right here. Make sure it's tight, like you're squeezing everything. It's kind of hard to go around if the hand is like here. So usually I bring the hand to his chest, even if he makes a grip, but then it will be easier for me to come around. Then I swing the leg over. Get to the armbar. I have side control, he's getting the underhook, but I'm going to top spin. So as he's turning towards me, like trying to get this underhook, he's, most likely he's going for the single leg. I'm gonna slow him down by using my hand on his ribs and bringing my elbow in. I pulse the leg and I top spin over. I step over his head, bringing my hand around, and my elbow comes in. Right when I finish the top spin, I get a chance to get the armbar. So if I push him that way with my chest, like I have my toes on the mat, my whole body is moving that way, he's gonna pulse his hand every time. Like I finish the top spin, I bump him with my chest, he pulls the hand. I catch the grip. I have the Kimura, bring the hand up, all the different finishes. I could finish here, putting a lot of weight on his head and then swinging the leg over, finishing in the pocket. He's turning, do the top spin, push, get the grip. I can stay here on top of him and start leaning this way, pulling his hands with me into the belly down, and finish. One more time. Top spin, push him, he's posting, grab, bring the hand here, bring the leg in. You see how my heel comes right under his armpit? Okay. So you can extend my leg, put a lot of weight on him, swing this leg over and fall this way, traditional armbar. If I fall the other way, then I'm falling into the belly down. For this one, I need to be pulling his hand because I don't want him to connect his hands here. Like, you're gonna waste a lot of time. Every time you do belly down armbar and you let the person connect the hands or cup the leg here, you waste too much time trying to break the grip. Of course, it's always easier to break the grip. If you're belly up, like you're gonna be here, it's easier to break the grip. So especially for belly down armbar, you wanna make sure as you're falling into the armbar, you're moving your opponent's hand away from your opponent's body. See how his hand's coming here? Chop the leg over his shoulder, control the hand, C grip, hand comes around, finish in the pocket. Then sometimes when I do the top spin, he holds the leg, then I can get into the same armbar, the belly down armbar. So let me do it slow so you can see what's happening. So sometimes I do the top spin, so you see I'm doing the top spin, he hugs the leg. If I want to just stay on top and end up behind him, I could come in here, connect my hands, break this grip, and I'll be in that position. Boom. The first one. Now, I don't have to. There's a very good opportunity for a really nice belly down armbar. So I can just use my knee to push his arm that way and my elbow as well. And then I start following this way. Chop the leg, I'm gonna end up here. Now he's connecting his hands, but you have a lot of pressure on the shoulder. You're gonna have to you know, spend some time breaking this grip. Maybe you can do just by using your legs, like using your knees. Like if I put pressure here with this one, pressure down, and this one going up, I can start breaking this grip just by moving my hips. Connect and finish. Of course, it would be better if he did not have the grips, but in this situation, he has the grip from the beginning to start with. He's, you know, as I begin my top spin, he's already connecting. And sometimes the guy is really committed to that grip, like he thinks it's the only thing that's gonna save him. Then even if you reach under and you're going hard here, trying to break, trying to kick back, especially if he's bigger, stronger than me, it won't work. Then I need to, you can use your elbow, or sometimes you can just cup like this. Like, you see how I lock his elbow here? Looks like a triangle. Cup everything, block the leg, create the angle for the armbar, start leaning this way. Boom. I have his shoulder. I have the armbar. I just need to move my hips to apply more pressure and break the grip. Hand goes under, you see the C grip? C grip scooping his hand, finishing.